This is the story every NFL fan needs to hear. Forget the sanitized league narratives. This is the gut punch reality of organizational rot, a calculated betrayal at the highest level of professional football. We're talking about the lifetime ban of a sitting head coach, Kevin Stefanski, following the leak of an audio recording that exposes a systematic, coordinated conspiracy to actively suppress the development of quarterback Shedeur Sanders. You know immediately this is not some typical petty coaching drama. This is a full-scale organizational malignancy, a deliberate act of player sabotage reaching into the darkest corners of the coaching staff. If you felt that creeping suspicion about how the Cleveland Browns handled their young quarterback since draft night, prepare for complete vindication. The recording hit the internet late yesterday evening. A 47-second audio clip posted by an anonymous Twitter account allegedly capturing a private Browns coaching staff meeting just 3 weeks ago. Within minutes, the content detonated across every platform. Retweets became a firestorm. Reddit threads generated thousands of comments instantly. The reason? Because the audio confirmed every dark theory, every suspicious decision, every questionable roster move surrounding Sanders since the Browns drafted him in the 5th round. Listen closely to the alleged words, the voice unmistakable as Stefanski's, discussing Sanders with the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, and possibly even general manager Andrew Berry. The things said are a career-ending catastrophe. "We can't let him take over this team," Stefanski allegedly states, crystal clear. "If Shedeur plays, the veterans will revolt. We keep him benched no matter what." Pause. Read that again. No matter what. This wasn't about performance. It wasn't about competitive merit. It was a predetermined outcome, regardless of talent, regardless of preparation, regardless of everything professional football supposedly stands for. More damaging segments follow. Stefanski reportedly continues. "Jimmy wants his guy starting, fine, but we control practice reps. We control game plans. We control everything that matters. Sanders can be QB1 on paper, while Gabriel gets the real preparation." Another voice, allegedly offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, chimes in supportively. "Exactly. We give Sanders scrimmage work against the practice squad. Gabriel gets the first team reps during install periods. The media won't notice the difference. Ownership sees Sanders' name atop the depth chart. Everyone's happy, except the kid. Do not minimize the severity of this. This transcends coaching preference. This is deliberate player suppression, potential draft pick sabotage, a systematic organizational conspiracy. Legal experts are immediately questioning whether Sanders now has grounds for a massive lawsuit against the organization, the coaching staff, and potentially the league itself for enabling a hostile work environment, interfering with his career development, and violating contractual obligations. Within 3 hours, social media became an absolute war zone. Hashtags trended worldwide instantly. Shedeur banned Stefanski hit #1 on Twitter within 90 minutes. Their justice for Shedeur followed closely. The Browns scandal generated over 2 million tweets on the first evening alone. The Browns fan base is viciously split between vindication and devastation. Sanders supporters are celebrating the irrefutable proof of their suspicions. Team loyalists are horrified at the destruction of the organizational reputation. The national football audience is simply stunned, witnessing what could be the biggest coaching scandal in modern NFL history. Local reactions range from explosive anger to a grim, satisfied, "I told you so." One prominent Browns podcaster tweeted immediately, "Told you, told everyone. Stefanski sabotaged this kid from day one. Fire him, ban him, remove him from football forever." Another local personality responded with despair. "This destroys everything. Our coach is a fraud. Our front office is complicit. Our season is over before it started. How do Browns fans survive this?" The emotional whiplash is understandable. These people invested everything in believing in organizational competence. Instead, the audio exposed systematic deception. The national media descended instantly. ESPN interrupted its regular programming for breaking news coverage. Stephen A. Smith appeared visibly furious during the emergency broadcast, his commentary instantly viral. "This is bigger than football. Kevin Stefanski wasn't just a bad coach. He was a liar. He tried to rob Shedeur Sanders, the kid who brings in the ratings, the excitement, and the hope of his rightful spot. And now he's done. Finished, out of the NFL forever." Smith's passionate delivery resonated, generating millions of views within hours. Shannon Sharpe joined the conversation through an emergency episode of his Nightcap podcast, his perspective equally devastating. "You reap what you sow. Stefanski got greedy, got scared, and he got caught. Shedeur Sanders is the truth, and the NFL wasn't going to let a coach destroy its future star." Sharpe's comments were particularly significant given his relationship with Coach Prime, Shedeur's father. Multiple sources suggested Deion Sanders contacted league offices immediately after the audio surfaced, demanding an investigation, demanding accountability, demanding justice for his son. But here's where the situation intensifies dramatically. Roger Goodell personally intervened. The league commissioner rarely addresses individual coaching decisions, personnel matters, or organizational internal affairs. Goodell typically delegates such situations, allowing them to resolve through normal channels. Not this time. Sources claim Goodell reviewed the audio recording, consulted legal counsel, contacted the NFL Players Association, and then made an unprecedented decision personally. The official NFL statement, released 11 hours after the audio surface, reads, "The National Football League holds its leaders to the highest standards of integrity, professionalism, and ethical conduct. Any deliberate action to manipulate players, suppress talent development, or undermine competitive fairness violates the fundamental trust between our league, our teams, and our fans." After a thorough review of the evidence presented, including audio recordings and corroborating witness testimony, Commissioner Roger Goodell has determined that Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski engaged in conduct detrimental to the league. Effective immediately, Kevin Stefanski has been banned for life from all NFL activities, including coaching, consulting, or any official capacity with league organizations. This decision is final and not subject to appeal. Read that again. Lifetime ban, not a suspension, not a probationary period, permanent removal from professional football. The severity is absolutely unprecedented for a coaching personnel decision. Stefanski joins an exclusive, infamous list of individuals, like Pete Rose and Donald Sterling, whose actions were deemed so egregious, so fundamentally opposed to the sport's integrity, that permanent banishment was the only appropriate response. Legal analysts immediately questioned the decision's standing. Sports attorney Daniel Wallach tweeted his analysis. Goodell's lifetime ban raises significant questions. What contractual authority permits the commissioner to unilaterally terminate a coach's career? The Browns organization must approve this decision. Player union involvement is unclear. Expect a legal challenge incoming rapidly. Indeed, Stefanski's representatives issued an immediate statement promising a lawsuit against the NFL, the Browns organization, and potentially the individuals responsible for the recording leak. Yet, the league was apparently prepared. Multiple sources suggest the NFL conducted a rapid yet thorough investigation following the audio's emergence, interviewing coaching staff members, front office personnel, and even players. Corroborating evidence allegedly confirms the audio's authenticity, validates the systematic Sanders suppression, and proves deliberate competitive manipulation. One source claimed this wasn't just Stefanski shooting his mouth off. This was a documented pattern spanning weeks. The league has emails, text messages, and meeting notes proving the conspiracy inside the Cleveland facility. Chaos reigns supreme. Players reportedly received notification through a group text message minutes before the public announcement. Reactions ranged from celebration to confusion to genuine concern about the season's viability. Multiple veterans immediately posted social media support for the decision. One anonymous offensive lineman told a local reporter, "We all knew what was happening. The audio just proved it. Shador should have been QB1 from day one. Now there's no one left to stop him." A defensive captain spoke more cautiously. "Look, I respected Coach Stefanski as a person, but if he really did this, if he really conspired against a teammate, against a kid trying to make his dreams happen, then the consequences are deserved. You can't build a winning culture on lies." The measured response reflects the broader team sentiment: disappointment regarding the betrayal, relief regarding the resolution, and uncertainty regarding the future direction. Shador Sanders himself remained publicly silent initially. His social media accounts went dark. No statements released. No interviews granted. Sources close to Sanders suggested the young quarterback was processing the situation privately, consulting with family, determining an appropriate response. One person familiar with Sanders' thinking claimed, "He's not celebrating. He's hurt. Shador wanted to earn the starting position through performance, not because his coach got banned. This feels hollow despite the vindication. Yet, the vindication is undeniable. Every questionable decision, every controversial practice structure, every puzzling depth chart adjustment suddenly makes perfect, awful sense. Remember when Sanders threw 3 touchdowns during a red zone period, then mysteriously received 0 first-team reps the following week? Explained. Recall when Gabriel started the preseason opener despite Sanders outperforming him throughout camp? Explained. Consider how the offensive game plan seemed designed to minimize Sanders' mobility, creativity, and playmaking strengths. All explained through the systematic suppression conspiracy. Owner Jimmy Haslam moved decisively decisively, scheduling an emergency press conference 6 hours after the ban announcement. Standing beside Shedeur Sanders, Haslam delivered a pointed public message. The Cleveland Browns organization apologizes to Shedeur Sanders, his family, his supporters, and our entire fan base. What happened here violated everything we claim to represent. Shedeur Sanders is our quarterback. He is our leader. He is our future. What happened today clears the path for him to take us where we need to go. No more obstacles, no more excuses, no more conspiracies. Just football. The visual imagery was powerful. A billionaire owner publicly supporting a fifth-round quarterback, essentially admitting organizational failure, promising corrective action. Haslam's statement generated mixed reactions. Some praised the accountability, others questioned whether the owner himself bore responsibility for enabling Stefanski's behavior, ignoring warning signs, or allowing a toxic culture to develop. General Manager Andrew Berry faces a particularly difficult position if the audio authenticity is confirmed, and if Berry participated in the conversations, or if front office complicity is proven. His job security evaporates instantly. Yet Berry released a carefully worded statement. "I was unaware of any systematic effort to suppress Shedeur Sanders' development. Had I known such discussions were occurring, I would have immediately intervened, reported concerns to ownership, and demanded accountability. Going forward, I commit to ensuring every player receives a fair opportunity to compete, develop, and contribute toward team success." The carefully worded denial raises serious questions. Was Berry truly ignorant? Did organizational dysfunction run so deep that the general manager remained uninformed regarding a coaching staff conspiracy? Or does the statement represent legal protection, plausible deniability, and career preservation? League investigators are reportedly scrutinizing Berry's involvement, reviewing communication records, interviewing witnesses, and determining front office knowledge, participation, and potential culpability. The coaching staff faces complete upheaval. Stefanski's assistants are reportedly receiving individual interviews from league investigators and Browns ownership's legal representatives. Some coaches are apparently cooperating fully, providing evidence and distancing themselves from Stefanski's decisions. Others are maintaining loyalty, refusing to comment, and potentially facing career consequences themselves. Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, whose voice allegedly appears in the leaked audio, has been placed on administrative leave pending the investigation's completion. Who coaches the Browns now? Cleveland promoted defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz to interim head coach immediately. Schwartz, a respected veteran with previous head coaching experience, represents a steady hand amid organizational chaos. His first statement emphasized simplicity. "We're here to coach football. Sanders is our quarterback. Dylan Gabriel is our backup. Competition is over. Let's prepare to win football games." The decisiveness is refreshing after weeks of organizational dysfunction. Players reportedly responded positively to Schwartz's straightforward approach. Veterans appreciate the clarity. Young players welcome the defined roles. Suddenly, the Browns possess direction after months of drifting amid controversy, conspiracy, and dysfunction. But let's address the explosive question everyone is asking. How did the audio leak? Who recorded a private coaching meeting? What motivated the person to expose Stefanski so devastatingly? Theories are multiplying rapidly. Some suggest a disgruntled assistant coach, appalled by the conspiracy, decided to blow the whistle despite the massive career risk. Others speculate a player captured the audio through facility recording equipment, deliberately exposing the injustice. The most intriguing theory involves front office personnel acting on ownership's behalf, creating evidence to justify Stefanski's removal while protecting organizational liability. Legal experts suggest the recording's origin matters significantly. Ohio is a one-party consent state, meaning only one conversation participant must approve the recording for legality. However, NFL facilities often maintain strict recording policies. Anyone violating such policies could face termination, legal action, and potentially criminal charges depending on the circumstances. The whistleblower, whoever they are, took an enormous professional risk exposing this conspiracy. Consider the broader, league-wide implications. Every coach now understands the boundaries more clearly. Player suppression, deliberate talent mismanagement, systematic competitive manipulation. These actions carry career-ending consequences. Goodell's decisive response sends an unmistakable message. Protect the shield. Protect competitive integrity. Protect the players' opportunities. Organizational politics, coaching preferences, and front office agendas, none of them supersede the fundamental principles of fairness. Yet, critics are questioning whether Goodell's response represents genuine integrity enforcement or calculated public relations management. Sanders' name carries enormous weight. His father's legendary status, social media following, and cultural relevance created a unique situation. Would the commissioner respond identically if an unnamed backup quarterback faced similar suppression? Would a lifetime ban occur without viral audio, public outrage, and sponsor concerns? Cynics suggest Goodell protected the NFL brand more than he protected Sanders' career. The cynicism is perhaps justified. Professional sports leagues historically prioritize revenue, ratings, and public perception over individual justice. But regardless of the motivation, the outcome remains. Stefanski is banned. Sanders is liberated. Accountability has been demonstrated. Sometimes the right things happen for the wrong reasons. Sometimes justice arrives through imperfect processes. Today represents one such occasion. The Browns' locker room dynamics transformed overnight. Veterans who privately supported Gabriel suddenly expressed public support for Sanders. Players who remained neutral during the controversy are now championing Shador as the unquestioned leader. The opportunistic nature is unsettling, yet understandable. Professional athletes protect their careers first, principles second. When organizational power dynamics shift dramatically, player allegiances adjust accordingly. Shador Sanders finally addressed the media 48 hours after the ban announcement. His statement was measured, mature, and carefully constructed. I came to Cleveland wanting to compete, wanting to earn my position through hard work and performance. What happened wasn't what I wanted. I never wished harm on Coach Stefanski or anyone else, but I'm grateful the truth emerged. Now I can focus on football, on helping this team win, on proving I belong here through my play, not through controversy. Let's move forward. The gracious response impressed analysts, teammates, and fans nationwide. Sanders could have celebrated the vindication, could have expressed anger regarding the treatment, could have demanded apologies from everyone involved. Instead, he took the high road, focused forward, and demonstrated maturity beyond his years. Such composure amid chaos separates good players from franchise quarterbacks. Training camp resumed under a completely different atmosphere. Shador Sanders is receiving every first-team repetition. Game plans are being designed to highlight his strengths, mobility, improvisation, deep ball accuracy, and creativity under pressure. The offensive coordinator, newly promoted from quarterback's coach after Dorsey's suspension, is installing concepts maximizing Sanders' unique skill set. Suddenly, the Browns' offense looks dynamic, explosive, and modern. Dylan Gabriel's response is equally important. The third-round selection could have demanded a trade, could have complained publicly, or could have created additional controversy. Instead, Gabriel embraced the backup role professionally. Shador's our guy, Gabriel told reporters. My job is preparing hard, supporting him, and being ready if needed. That's what professionals do. The maturity displayed by both quarterbacks suggests the Browns possibly possess a healthier organizational culture moving forward. Despite the catastrophic scandal, consider the fan perspective transformation. Browns supporters spent months viciously divided between the Gabriel and Sanders factions. Social media battles raged daily. Comment sections became toxic wastelands. Friendships were damaged over quarterback preferences. Now, unity is emerging rapidly. Sanders is the consensus choice. Gabriel supporters are gracefully accepting the reality. The leaked audio paradoxically healed the fan base division by eliminating the debate's foundation. Yet, the organizational damage runs deeper than a single coaching change can repair. Free agents will question the Browns' stability. Draft prospects may hesitate to join a dysfunctional franchise. Media coverage will emphasize the scandal over football indefinitely. The commissioner's lifetime ban, while satisfying immediate justice demands, creates a lasting stigma. Cleveland becomes a cautionary tale. The franchise where conspiracy, corruption, and dysfunction reign despite talent, resources, and fan support. Stefanski's legacy is completely destroyed. Coach of the Year award 2 seasons ago, irrelevant. Playoff victory, forgotten. Offensive innovation, meaningless. His career will be remembered exclusively for this scandal, this conspiracy, this catastrophic ethical failure. Fair or not, Kevin Stefanski joins the category of sports history's villains, individuals whose achievements are overshadowed completely by moral collapse. His family suffers tremendously. His children are reading about their father's disgrace online. His wife is enduring public humiliation. His parents are watching the destruction of his legacy. Professional consequences cascade toward personal devastation. One wonders whether 47 seconds of audio justifies destroying an entire life, career, and reputation. Then one remembers Shador Sanders, the young quarterback whose dreams were nearly destroyed through systematic suppression. Perspective matters. Legal battles will continue for years. Stefanski's attorneys are already filing a wrongful termination lawsuit against the Browns and a defamation suit against the individuals responsible for the leak, potentially challenging the commissioner's authority to impose a lifetime ban. The Browns organization faces a potential lawsuit from the Sanders family regarding a hostile work environment, developmental interference, and contractual violations. The NFL might face a Players Association grievance regarding adequate player protection from coaching abuse. The financial implications are staggering. Stefanski's contract was reportedly guaranteed through 2026, approximately $23 million remaining. The Browns are likely arguing for cause termination, eliminating payment obligations. Stefanski's legal team is claiming the lifetime ban represents league action, not organizational termination, therefore the guarantees remain valid. The contractual dispute alone could generate years of litigation, millions in legal fees, and an enormous eventual settlement. The Browns' season outlook transforms dramatically. Previously, Cleveland faced quarterback controversy, coaching tension, and organizational dysfunction, threatening competitive viability. Now, clear direction emerges. Shedeur Sanders is the undisputed starter. Jim Schwartz is providing steady leadership. The front office is aligned behind the quarterback selection. Suddenly, the Browns possess an opportunity to compete within a division featuring Burrow, Jackson, and Mayfield. The scandal paradoxically might have saved Cleveland's season by eliminating the festering dysfunction. Yet, skepticism is warranted. Replacing a head coach midway through training camp rarely produces positive outcomes. Installing a new offensive system weeks before the regular season creates enormous challenges. Asking a rookie fifth-round quarterback to lead a team amid unprecedented media scrutiny, organizational scandal, and heightened expectations represents a nearly impossible task. Browns supporters hoping for an overnight transformation may face disappointment when football reality confronts optimistic narratives. National media coverage reached saturation levels. Every sports network is providing round-the-clock analysis. Every podcast is dedicating episodes to the scandal discussion. Every sports website is generating endless content examining every angle: legal, ethical, competitive, and cultural. The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation transcends a sports story. It is a cultural moment reflecting broader conversations about power dynamics, organizational ethics, athlete treatment, and accountability standards. The social media discourse is particularly fascinating. Younger fans are predominantly supporting Sanders, celebrating Stefanski's ban, and demanding systemic change throughout the NFL. Older fans are expressing more nuanced perspectives, questioning the lifetime ban's severity, worrying about the precedent it establishes, and fearing a future where a single audio clip destroys careers without due process. The generational divide reflects broader cultural tensions regarding accountability, cancel culture, and the definitions of justice. Players throughout the league are watching intently. If coaches can face lifetime bans for suppressing talent, what other behaviors warrant similar consequences? What protections exist for players facing similar situations without viral audio evidence? How many other talented players are systematically suppressed without anyone knowing, without accountability occurring, without justice arriving? The scandal raises uncomfortable questions extending far beyond the Cleveland Browns organization. The agent community is responding aggressively. Several prominent player representatives are reportedly demanding additional contractual protections for clients, including specific developmental opportunity guarantees, playing time arbitration clauses, and independent coaching evaluation mechanisms. The NFLPA is considering proposing collective bargaining agreement modifications addressing player suppression, coaching accountability, and organizational transparency. Some veterans are expressing private concern about the scandal's broader implications. One anonymous player told a national reporter, "Look, what Stefanski did was wrong, no question, but a lifetime ban for a coaching decision? That's extreme. What happens when a coach benches a veteran for a younger player? What happens when a coordinator changes the scheme, eliminating the importance of certain positions? Where's the line between a legitimate coaching decision and a career-ending suppression? This precedent worries me." The concern is understandable. Professional sports require coaches to make difficult personnel decisions, unpopular roster moves, and controversial game plans. Not every benching represents a conspiracy. Not every depth chart adjustment indicates suppression. Stefanski's situation involves systematic deception, explicit audio evidence, and deliberate deliberate competitive manipulation, but will future cases receive similar scrutiny? Will coaches become paralyzed by fear, unable to make tough decisions without legal consequences? The balance between accountability and operational freedom represents an ongoing challenge. Roger Goodell addressed these concerns during a rare press conference, defending the decision emphatically. This wasn't a close call. This wasn't a gray area. This wasn't a legitimate coaching decision. This was a documented conspiracy suppressing player development to satisfy a personal agenda while deceiving ownership, fans, and, most importantly, the player himself. Such behavior cannot be tolerated under any circumstances. We will always protect a player's right to compete fairly, to develop appropriately, and to receive an honest evaluation. Goodell's forceful response suggests the league is prepared to defend the decision indefinitely. Sources claim the NFL legal team conducted an exhaustive investigation, interviewed dozens of witnesses, and reviewed thousands of communications before recommending the lifetime ban. The commissioner didn't act hastily or emotionally, but rather following a thorough evidentiary process supporting the unprecedented penalty. Yet, questions linger regarding whether the Browns organization faces additional penalties. Did ownership exercise adequate oversight? Did the front office fulfill its player protection responsibilities? Did the organizational culture enable Stefanski's behavior? Some analysts are suggesting Cleveland should face a draft pick forfeiture, salary cap penalties, or similar consequences beyond the individual coaching ban. The NFL announced an ongoing investigation examining the Browns' organizational practices, front office awareness, and systemic issues potentially enabling the scandal. Andrew Berry remains employed, but under intense scrutiny. Jimmy Haslam faces reputation damage despite his decisive response following the audio leak. The scandal's full consequences won't be known for months, potentially years, as investigations continue, lawsuits develop, and organizational changes are implemented. Shedeur Sanders prepares for the regular season opener amid a circus atmosphere. The national audience is watching intensely. Expectations are impossibly high. The media narrative is demanding immediate success to justify the controversy. Defensive coordinators are studying his tendencies, preparing schemes to exploit his inexperience. The kid faces pressure few rookies ever experience. Yet, those close to Sanders express confidence. His lifetime around football, his legendary father's guidance, his personal competitiveness, and his proven college success all suggest readiness for the moment. One teammate tells reporters, Shedeur doesn't feel pressure. He loves it. The bigger the stage, the better he performs. This situation doesn't scare him. It motivates him. The Browns' season opens against division rival the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow versus Shedeur Sanders. Established franchise quarterback against controversial rookie. Playoff contender against organizational disaster. The storylines write themselves. The national television audience is expected to reach record levels. Betting markets are overwhelmed with action. Social media is preparing to explode regardless of the outcome. If Sanders plays brilliantly, vindication narratives will dominate. See, Stefanski was holding him back. The Browns wasted weeks suppressing a generational talent. If Sanders struggles, criticism will emerge immediately. He wasn't ready. Stefanski was right about the development timeline, even if his methods were wrong. Either way, there is no escaping intense scrutiny, immediate judgment, and the unforgiving spotlight. This represents exactly what makes this scandal so captivating. Authentic stakes, real careers hanging in the balance, a genuine organizational crisis playing out publicly, legitimate questions about ethics, accountability, and justice systems within professional sports. Unlike manufactured controversies or tabloid gossip, this situation carries weight, consequences, and broader implications extending throughout the sport. The Cleveland Browns entered 2025 expecting contention, a talented roster, defensive excellence, offensive weapons, and a quarterback competition creating excitement. Instead, the organization faces unprecedented scandal, a coaching ban, and systematic dysfunction exposure. The season hasn't even begun yet, and the Browns are already dealing with a catastrophic crisis threatening everything. Can the organization recover? Can Shedeur Sanders deliver immediately despite the circumstances? Can Jim Schwartz provide stable leadership? Can locker room unity be maintained amid ongoing investigations? Can the fan base trust the franchise again after this betrayal? So many questions remain unanswered as the regular season approaches relentlessly. Here is what we know for certain. Kevin Stefanski will never coach NFL football again. Shedeur Sanders is Cleveland's starting quarterback. Roger Goodell established an unprecedented accountability standard. The Browns organization will forever be associated with this scandal regardless of future success. The leaked audio exposed everything. The lifetime ban changed everything. And now professional football watches to see whether the justice served ultimately produces better outcomes or simply created different problems requiring additional solutions. Make no mistake, the Cleveland Browns quarterback scandal represents a watershed moment for the NFL. How the league handles the ongoing investigations, how the organization rebuilds credibility, how Sanders performs under pressure, and how Stefanski's legal challenges proceed all will shape professional football's future regarding coaching accountability, player protections, and organizational transparency. This story is beginning, not ending. The regular season will provide the answers.